I'm just looking for a place. I'm looking for him to guard a spot. I can mix a little Dawn and spray it like that. And it slicks all that ripple off. You see how it makes a big slick right there? I'm just looking for any pockets that I can look in that's relatively protected. This is the brightest we've had, so it's been really cloudy, so the name of the game obviously is be able to see. And it's late in the year. We're not quite down to the dam, but as a rule of thumb, the spawn happens from the upper part of the lake to the lower part of the lake. So we're mid-lake right now, so from here down to the dam would be where it would be going down. This would be like the very tail end of the spawn.
Are you determining that by water temp?
Yeah, it's like it's 75 right now. It was 77 to 81 at Murray. I think the rain is what cooled it down a few degrees here. You know, I think that these fish probably are around the same stage as they are on Murray, you know, honestly. I'm just looking for a place. I'm looking for them to guard a spot. You know, they've got one spot in that bed that, you know, obviously they're really particular about. And that sweet spot's where you want to be. But like, see, this fish right here, if after about 5 minutes he's not showing me any aggression, I'll actually go start pitching at its tail and get it to turn around and try to aggravate it, more or less. Get it snapping at the bait. See, when he moved off of it, that other one got up there on the bed.
How often do you run across beds where there's multiple fish on them? More than two, I'm saying, like that.
It's pretty rare for me. I mean, if we're fishing a full out spawn event, I might find one or two like that over the course of the tournament. Oh, he's got it. That's the male that's got it in his mouth right now, though. I'm gonna try to see if he'll swim off, if she'll get up there, because every time that he's got off of it, she's got up there. And ideally, you'd like to catch her first.
Does that really work, the whole letting the male go? If you catch it, it'll go back and the female still bite?
50-50. I've done it a couple times and it's worked. I've also done it, I did it at Lake Murray. I caught the male 3 times in the tournament I won fishing for a 6-pounder. And every time I would catch him, the female would get up there and she'd be about to bite and he'd run back up there and run her off. And then he'd bite again. So it was almost to the point where he bit it again. It was almost to the point I needed to get him out of the way. But the thing about sight fishing is everyone has a different personality. There's something that makes it tick, and you just got to figure that out.
On average, how long do you give a fish? Like how much time would you put into this?
It just depends on the size and you know what I've got at the time, you know, has a lot to do with it. Where we're at in the tournament. I mean, it's just a lot of factors. Like, I've spent, you know, an hour on some that I'm like, if I catch that one bass, I'm getting in the cut, you know. So it's all according on the scenario.
Is there ever a behavior that tells you this is not happening?
Yeah, if they're rubbing really hard and like staying off the bed and what I call courting, it's hard to, they're almost like in a trance. They're not worried about protecting a spot, and it's almost hard. You have to get them out of that trance to even get them to bite. And you can do that, but it takes a lot of time, and you're better off if you got time in the day, leaving, coming back, and fishing for them at a different time.
Rod and line, how do you choose it?
I'm a like 7.3 extra heavy MBX Phoenix rod, 20-pound Seagar and VizX. Sometimes I'll go straight braid if we're, you know, in Florida, in pads or something like that. It's not something you got to skimp on line. So anytime there's a ripple in the water like that and I can't really see what's going on, I can mix a little Dawn and spray it like that. And it slicks all that ripple off. You see how it makes a big slick right there?
That is cool.
And I can kind of tell, you know, really what's happening. If I thought I saw a fish and, you know, I wanted to check to see what, you know, how big it was or if it really was a fish, I'll turn back around and spray an area down and look at it. I fill the thing up with water and I just put like a squirted on in there. It doesn't take much. See, this is the scenario right here that I wish I would have waited, you know, and came back and caught the female first whenever I could, because I caught the male and she has left the building.
She's left.
Because there's really, if you think about it, she's up there. Actually, there she is right there. She just came back, but she's not acting right. If she's up here to pair up with a male, and if the male's not there, then what reason does she have to stay, you know? Unless she's already laid. I've seen it where you catch that male and it fires her up and she gets in there and bites at the first pitch, and I've seen it where it does the total opposite. Just have to see what this one does. She's sitting over there to the right of the bed right now. Nobody but us needs to know it took me like way longer than it should have took.
That was awesome.